Welcome to Big Shoulders, the show where we explore the civic technology space here in Chicago. With me today, I am delighted to have my friend Christopher Whitaker. Christopher runs the region for Code for America. And Christopher, tell us a little bit, what is Code for America?
So Code for America is a nonprofit organization based out of San Francisco that works with cities and communities to provide 21st century capabilities for cities.
Okay. And how does it do that?
So we have three major programs. The first one is the fellowship program, which they're accepting applications for. You should apply. They essentially recruit designers, developers, researchers, and they form teams and embed them in a city hall for about a month, learning about a problem, getting in depth, talking with end users, talking with people who are actually trying to solve problems in their cities. And then they'll go back to San Francisco, where Code for America is headquartered, and work on a technology solution for the remainder of the year. And then every year at the Code for America Summit, they unveil the project. The other big thing that Code for America does, and this is what I'm involved in, is the Code for America Brigade program. The Brigade program started because a lot of people were like, this is great stuff, I want to get involved, but I'm not able to take a year off my life to do a fellowship, but I still want to help my city. And so Code for America started organizing volunteer communities to work on projects sort of on nights and weekends. And I help coordinate those communities in the Midwest.
Okay, and Chicago is one of those cities in the Midwest where you put your focus.
Yes. So OpenGov Hack Night started actually about 6 months before the launch of the Brigade program.
And what is OpenGov Hack Night?
OpenGov Hack Night is an event every Tuesday inside the offices of Braintree where we get together and work on projects to help make our cities better. We've been doing it for about 3 years, and we have about 80 people a week. And not all just coders. We have about 60% of people who work in nonprofit, in government, or are just community activists, and about 40% technologists who do coding, website design, user experience design on a regular basis.
And you don't have to be a heavy technologist to get something out of OpenGov Hack Night. In fact, tell us how you came about it. You have a really interesting story there.
Yeah, so I came into civic technology sort of from the opposite direction. It was sort of the height of the recession, banks were failing, unemployment's through the roof, and part of the government's response was to hire more bureaucrats to work in unemployment offices to help sort of process the massive amounts of unemployment claims.
And you were one of those unemployment bureaucrats?
Yes. So I started with the state at the Lawrence office on Chicago's north side, get there about 30 minutes early, there's already a line of about 20 people out the door, get at my desk, turn on my computer, wait about 5 minutes because this computer's from 1995, and finally get the system up, and I'm greeted by a DOS screen.
So it wasn't even running modern operating system from 1995, it was effectively a green screen.
From 1975.
From 1975, wow, okay.
And it wasn't even a real-time system. So anytime I did anything, I entered someone's unemployment claim, I processed somebody's payment, I corrected somebody's answer when they called the teleserve system. None of that happened in real time. So the only way to make sure everything went through is to come in the next morning, print out a ream of paper about this thick, then go through line by line by line, making sure that nothing rejected. And
wow.
This was really frustrating for me because I'm carrying this around in my pocket. Something 10 times more powerful than the system I'm using to help my neighbors. And I'm using this thing to watch cat videos on my way home from work. So out of that frustration, I started getting more into technology, started going to hackathons, and then once I got my master's from DePaul, I started doing consulting work, sort of helping nonprofits and governments better understand their options when it comes to technology. I started doing a lot of work for the Smart Chicago Collaborative, which I'm thrilled to be a part of.
And talk about that. Tell us what Smart Chicago Collaborative is about.
Sure. So Smart Chicago is an affiliate of the Chicago Community Trust, which is celebrating their 100-year-old birthday today.
That's right.
And Smart Chicago has three founders, the Trust, the City of Chicago, and the MacArthur Foundation. And we work with nonprofit organizations and governments to help spur innovation in Chicago, care about three things. Access to the internet, digital skills, being able to use the internet once you get access to the internet, and then making sure there's things on the internet worth going to. We work on projects like the Chicago Health Atlas, where you can find health information about your neighborhood, and a whole slew of other projects that help residents in Chicago.
And if you go to smartchicagocollaborative.org, you can actually take a look at some of these things. That's fantastic. So you're something of a staple in the civic tech community here in Chicago. And I know that we have a lot of stories and all of them are great. Is there anyone from Chicago that particularly stands out for you?
I think my favorite, I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite.
Of course.
But one of the things I'm most excited about right now is a project called Expungio, or expunge.io. So in Illinois, I get in a fight in high school. I knock someone's lights out.
This is hypothetical. It didn't happen.
I get arrested for assault. I go before a judge. Judge says, Christopher, don't be stupid. He dismisses the case. I think, okay, I'm good. I'm not good. I have a criminal record. So when I go to apply for jobs, when I go to apply for college, when I try to join the military, they do the background check. It pops up, I have a criminal record.
Even after you're 18, it doesn't automatically get expunged.
It's not automatic. So Smart Chicago had worked with a nonprofit organization called MICFA Challenge to sort of do civic technology training, sort of teach them more about the space. And at the end of the summer, we asked the groups, what are your ideas for civic apps? And juvenile expungement came up. Because a lot of the times people are eligible to have their records expunged, but there's a whole process you have to go to.
And it's complex.
So the idea came out to create an app to help sort of make people aware that this was an option and to sort of get people rolling. So we connected with a developer named Kathy Ding, and she built a website that pretty much acts like a BuzzFeed quiz. You answer a few questions, and then it says, okay, you're eligible for expungement under this subsection. You fill out this little web form, and then it connects you to Legal Aid Foundation Chicago. One of the things that LAF does is run the Cook County Juvenile Expungement Help Desk. And so once you're connected, a lawyer will contact you and start getting you through the process of getting your record expunged, thus solving the problem. It's one of those projects that, the power isn't necessarily the technology. It's not going to win any Webbies. It's not going to, it's not a lot of bells and whistles. But the power behind the app is the community organizing aspect that happened between the youth organization, the developer, and the nonprofit that actually gets the work done.
In fact, it's deliberately quite simple. There's large yes and no buttons and simple questions. And I like this story too because, first of all, it's like you said, it's not about the technology, it's about a process that gets simplified. But the point that it connects citizens to the right place, whereas that can be overwhelming to do on your own, really is the key piece of Expungio. That's
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So just to wrap up, for somebody who's interested in getting into civic technology, what advice would you give them?
If you're in Chicago, definitely come to an OpenGov Hack Night. If you go to opengovhacknight.org, it'll bring you to the website and tell you all about our events. Check out the Smart Chicago Collaborative blog. We post stories on every Hack Night about things happening in Chicago, and we've got a vast video archive of all the civic technology events that have happened in Chicago. If you're outside of Chicago and you're interested in getting involved, if you go to codeforamerica.org/brigade, you can find a brigade near you, or you can sign up to organize your own brigade.
Terrific. Christopher Whitaker, thank you very much. This has been Big Shoulders. Christopher Whitaker from Code for America.